All right. Well, welcome everybody to Leadership Uncensored. I am Dr. Kim Harris Lee, and I'm here with my partner in leadership, Theo Jamison, and we're going to take a few minutes later to introduce ourselves to you. But I want to tell you why we're here. So Theo and I have spent a lot of time exploring, like, how can we partner together? And through those explorations, and Theo, I think you agree, we've had some fantastic conversations, right? I mean, talking about our clients, what outcomes they've had, what insights we've gained, what funny stories have come out of those interactions. And what we realized one day was other leaders who are interested in their growth might benefit from these very conversations, right? So we've combined our experience and we're bringing our proven strategies to you all to really give you the opportunity to learn from what we've learned in working with our clients and to give you the opportunity to elevate in your leadership in a very practical and relevant way. We know these things and strategies that we're going to be sharing work because we've used them with our clients with much success. So we are excited about sharing what we know and our total of 74 years of experience. I added them together, Theo. Can you believe that? 74 years of experience and expertise to be able to share that with you on this platform. So before we get started, I think it makes sense for us to introduce ourselves. So Theo, why don't you start and tell people who you are?
I'd love to. I'm elated over the moon about this project that we're doing together. It's been a long time coming. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Theo Gilbert Jamison. I'm an author, I'm a consultant, and I'm an executive coach. I've written many books. Um, but my claim to fame is really that I worked a number of years ago with the Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company. I was vice president of learning and development globally. And really, that's where I feel that I got my personal PhD in executive leadership. I was so blessed to work with that organization. However, for the last 22 years, I've been running Performance Solutions by Design, which is my company that I founded in 2003. And we are a consulting firm that helps organizations elevate the customer experience from average to extraordinary. We also do a lot in executive development, leadership development, process improvement, customer experience, so many phenomenal things. And it's just a blessing to be here and just to share. I've got lots of years of experience in every level. I work from the ground up. So I understand how some of the complexity and some of the issues and challenges that leaders have. And I'm just really, again, happy to be working with Dr. Kim to share our knowledge with you.
So I could not believe, as I was listening to you talk, it's like, I can't believe you've been doing this for 22 years. Like, that much time has passed, right? And so that means that we've known each other for even longer because we met before then, right? So
Yes, we sure did.
it's just amazing how time passes. But I am, again, Dr. Kim Harris Lee, and I am an author, a speaker, and an executive coach, not necessarily in that order. I probably do executive coach first, then speaker, then author. And I am the CEO and founder of Your Sweet Spot Coaching and Consulting, which is also the home of Dr. Kim Harris Lee Executive Coaching. I work exclusively with leaders at the highest level of their organizations. My portfolio is pretty diverse in terms of my clients. I have a particular passion, though, around serving Black women and leaders of color for a lot of reasons, which you'll learn about as we move through these modules based on experiences that I've had. I also partner with McKinsey. They have an executive leadership program that I serve as a coach in, and I've served as a faculty member at the Smith College Executive Education Program. So my practice, I would say, is probably built on 20 years of experience, but I've been in solo practice for about 15 years. And again, Theo, I can't believe that 15 years has gone by so quickly. But I'll tell you that I landed here as a result of what I call a critical moment in my career, which I'll talk about at some point later. And while it was traumatic for me at the time, I always tell people that it's the best thing that could have happened to me because I am so fulfilled and satisfied by the work that I do with senior leaders, their executive leadership teams, and their organizations. It is just so impactful for me to be able to impact the careers of others in that way. And it gives me an opportunity to simply be myself. Right?
Love
Which
it.
I didn't always have operating in a corporate environment. So it gives me freedom to be and to be the best version of myself while I serve others. So I am an industry agnostic in that I work across industries. I've partnered with organizations like Duke University, Emory University, Comcast, Cox Enterprises, Coca-Cola. But I also work with healthcare organizations and large nonprofits. So again, my work is very satisfying, and I'm glad, so thrilled, Theo, that we have the opportunity to be here together on yet a different platform and impact the lives and careers of leaders. So let's do this thing.
And I'd like to, talk more about that because it's amazing how you can meet someone many, many years. I'm going to go back first to how we first met. Every time I see you and every time we're with someone, I have to tell them how I met you because many years ago, I think we were both in our corporate experience. I was a corporate exec with Ritz-Carlton. You were a corporate exec with another organization. And we had the chance to have lunch at the Ritz-Carlton with Ken Blanchard. For those of you that know Ken Blanchard, author of Situational Leadership, and he was working with our organization and he brought in other organizations to have lunch that he wanted to prospect in Atlanta to work with him. And Dr. Kim was among that esteemed small group of executives that met with him on that day. And everybody introduced themselves. We had a really great lunch, of course, because it was at the Ritz-Carlton. But I'll never forget that when Dr. Kim introduced herself, it was just something about her professional presence, great communication skills, the full total package. And I was like, I want to get to know that lady a little bit better. And so since then, we would by chance meet here or there. Every now and then we might have had lunch or coffee. But when I look at that, that was probably close to probably 25 years ago. And my point with that is that in our life, there are times when we meet people that are going to be integral in our growth and in what we do. And this is just a great example. We just recently connected not too long ago, and we were like, we've just got too many great stories that we can tell around our corporate life. This is uncensored, or it's going to be uncensored, and just really sharing best practices, tips that will make you a more astute and more effective and productive executive that's highly valued within your organization.
Yeah, and that speaks to what I tell clients all the time is that relationships are important, right? And even when I'm talking to entrepreneurs who are just starting out, they say, "Well, I've had all these calls, but nobody takes me up on the business," and I'm like, "You're planting seeds."
Yes.
They'll be back, right? And so that's why it's so important when we talk about building relationships that they be authentic, right? And genuine with no agenda because people can feel agenda. And when you have an agenda or when you're really hungry, you don't necessarily get the outcomes that you want. But that kind of goes to why are we collaborating? Like what is it that we're trying to accomplish? What's our agenda, right? And so for us, I think, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but we want to be a go-to leadership resource for leaders, right? We want to provide practical and actionable strategies and tools that can become a part of a leader's everyday actions. Think of us as a field guide, if you will. you have a situation, and if you've listened to us, you can say, I know Theo and Dr. Kim talked about something. Let me go back and find that as a reference point so I can figure out how to deal with this particular situation, which reminds me that we're going to have to be very specific in our titling, right? To make it easier for people to find those topics. But not only that, we do realize that everybody can't afford executive coaching. Right. So this is really our way of giving back in a meaningful way. And not only will people be hearing from us, but we're also going to provide some tools that people can download and use. Again, very practical and actionable. You can leave a view and go execute. And this pushes us outside of our comfort zones as well, right? So we're committed to growing in our work as we are serving you as leaders to grow in your work. And so this also gives us an opportunity to meet and interact with leaders that we would not have met otherwise. So we're hoping that everyone leaves comments and reaches out so that we can be in dialogue and communication. And then
I'd
finally,
like to, oops, go
yeah,
ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go. What?
I'd just like to add that this is also a great opportunity for people to take control of their own executive and leadership development. People pay a lot of money for these services, but this is an
Mhm.
opportunity. You don't have to wait that my boss or my manager or my CEO or whatever hasn't put me in a program. This is your
Right.
opportunity to do it for yourself. Take self accountability and to do that.
Exactly. Exactly. No, I love that because everyone should take control, right, of their own development. The organization should support leaders, but
Mhm.
sometimes for various reasons they can't or they don't. And so sitting back and waiting for it to happen versus taking control over your career and doing it is the best action to take. But I wanted to add the final point, which is we believe in mutual learning. So again, we're hoping that the leaders who watch this podcast learn from us, but additionally, we want to learn from them, right? So commentary is going to be very important, letting us know what else you want to hear about. If we say something that you don't agree with, right?
Love it.
Share that with us too, because we have a point of view, but then so do you. So again, we can learn from our viewers as well. So what are we going to be talking about, Theo?
Oh, we have just a great list of things that we want to have conversations around. And as Dr. Kim said, it's important that we get feedback from you because that will build on those topics that we talk about. But just off the bat, we want to share dynamics and just good conversation around how important aspects of executive leadership are, like having purpose, being able to balance the functional aspects of your job with purpose. So we're going to talk about purpose-driven leadership. I'm looking at my list, by the way. Another things that we're going to
Mhm.
look at include things like your leadership voice. It's so important that you have a voice, but the voice has to be right. So Dr. Kim's going to expound on how we can just crystallize that aspect of our executive development. Um, Here's one that we both can attribute to: finding success after corporate life. I spent 17 years in corporate America. Dr. Kim, also a substantial amount of time as employees. Today, we're still in corporate America, but we come in as executive coaches, leadership and executive development. So we'll talk about, because sometimes if people are like, Theo, I don't know how you do it. I could never go out on my own. And guess what? In the time I've had my company, they've worked for 5 corporations. So we're going to talk about finding success. I love this topic that Dr. Kim is going to expand more on when we get to it. It's accountability and conflict avoidance. That's a big one that really needs to be addressed. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, being your authentic self. And we'll also talk about what fuels your leadership. So, our goal really in this is just to share what we've learned along the way, and hopefully you'll gain some insight from it. Hopefully, we will get some comments from you. We'll get some, you know, feedback from you on what you'd like to hear more about. But that's just the foundation for what we're going to be talking about over our next couple of sessions.
I am so excited. I'm so excited
Them
because as I
too.
was as I was thinking about the list of the preliminary list that we've come up with, I thought, wow, and there's going to be so much that comes out of those conversations, right?
Yes.
And everything that you've talked about, Theo, is so consistent with our vision and purpose because this idea of being uncensored, most leadership advice is pretty sanitized, right? It's corporate speak. I can't tell you how many clients I've even had, and I'm having conversations with them, and I'm like, do you talk like that all the time? Because it's like,
So true.
this corporate speak is really heavy. I'm going to be
Mhm.
real with you. I'm going to be raw with you. So I need you to be real and raw with me. And
Yes.
that's what we're trying to do here. That is our
Mhm.
purpose because we believe that the real and raw is what works when the pressure is on, right? And so we want to ensure that the information we give, the strategies we give are clear, right, and actionable. You've heard me say that a lot over the last few minutes that we've been talking, but practicality is so important to us, and
Mhm.
action and your ability to execute on what we share is also very important. So we're just here again to share information straight from the real world, the experiences that we've had with our clients, as well as the successes that our clients have had as a result of their partnerships with us. We got to emphasize that.
You
So,
know,
Thea, go ahead.
oh, yes, ma'am. Hundreds have graduated. I don't know, graduated, but completed,
Yes.
our executive development programs. And again, this is just an opportunity for you to be able to do that too. I know Dr. Kim was leading me into what I need to say next. And it's, how can you reach us? How can you contact us? Where can you find us? We've got a new YouTube channel. It's called Leadership Uncensored. So we'll be there. Subscribe and watch, view, add comments. We want all of that. Our extended conversations will be on that platform, but also will be accessible on LinkedIn. And we may even look at some of the other social media platforms also. But we really want the engagement. So whether you're on viewing us on YouTube or LinkedIn or wherever else you see us, please get engaged, get involved, utilize this as as an invaluable resource to help you accelerate your executive development.